Boys and girls, listen up. We have two classes we're waiting on, and we're going to get started. We are going to have a Title I presentation by Ms. Kay Burns, our storyteller that came last year. Standing out there in the pink. Yeah, see? Didn't even know she was standing there behind you. All right, quick question. How many of you remember seeing Ms. Burns last year? All right, hands down. How many of you enjoyed seeing her last year? Well, that's good too. Okay, we want the same number of hands. That's good. All right, so we're going to have the presentation here in just a few minutes. We got two classes we're waiting on, but I do want to remind you, we have our Title I presentation tonight where you get to come back and listen to new stories, different ones than you hear today, and pizza. So that's always a good thing. So if you can get your parents to bring you back tonight, you're going to get pizza. And even better than that, now this is the best part, your teachers are going to give you the pizza, so they got to be nice to you. Yeah, how about that? Yeah. See that? They're going to have to be nice, give you pizza and a drink. Okay. So we want to remember, tonight, you want to be here at 6:30. All right, put your hands on your head if you can hear me. All right, listen. Okay, hands down. Now, 6:30 tonight, we're going to have our pizza delivered. I'm waiting for you. We're going to have teachers serving pizza. We're going to have teachers giving out drinks. You guys are going to be able to have a great time eating with your family. And then we get to hear some wonderful stories from Miss Burns again. So, should be an exciting time. I think all of our classes are here now, so I want to give a great big Shadeville welcome to Miss Burns.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Good afternoon. Oh, thanks, I needed that. It's a beautiful day. Can you tell how happy I am to be here? I am so happy to be here with you again this year. And look at you. Last year you were just second, third, and fourth graders, and now you're all big kids. Oh, and you know what that means? That means I can tell you my big kid stories. Yeah. No kindergarten stories in here this afternoon. And I'm really looking forward to being here tonight with your families, too. I hope you'll be able to come back. So, boys and girls, you know, we just celebrated Literacy Week, right? Did you celebrate Literacy Week here, Shadeville? Oh, well, it was a big deal. And you know, literacy is a fancy word for reading and writing. And I do both as a storyteller. I love to read. I'm always reading books. And not too long ago, I found a story that I just loved. And I'm going to share it with you. Now, boys and girls, this story, well, it's a Cinderella story. Yeah, I know. You're thinking Cinderella and the glass slipper. Yeah, I know that. But what I hope you also know is that there are lots and lots and lots of different Cinderella stories. And depending on where you go in the world, you will find a different Cinderella story. Now, they're all kind of the same, but they're all very different, too. And the Cinderella story that I'm going to share with you comes from Mexico. Mm-hmm. Now, boys and girls, you know Mexico, that's our neighbor down there across the south, right? And down in Mexico, a lot of people speak English, but that is not their first, not their primary language. In Mexico, they speak what? They speak Spanish, Español. Now, lo siento. No hablo español muy poquito. That means, I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish. Very little. I took Spanish in high school, but I never used it very much, and so most of it is gone. Little bit. I do know that in Spanish, this story is called Pájaro Verde. Now in Spanish, pájaro means bird, and verde is the color, green. So in Spanish, the story is Pájaro Verde. In English, the story is called The Green Bird. And it goes like this. A long, long time ago, way down across the border in old Mexico, there lived a woman, and she had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 daughters. Now, these 9 girls were a little strange. In fact, they were weird, because the eldest of the 9 sisters had 9 eyes. She had 9 eyes. They were all over her face. And when that girl walked into a room, she could stand perfectly still, roll those eyes, and she could see everything there was to see. Now the next girl, she had 8 eyes. The next had 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Only the beautiful Mirabelle had 2 eyes. And of course, the youngest of the 9 sisters, she had 1 eye. Yep, a cyclops. Yep. It was right in the middle of her face. Ooh. And you know, when that girl walked into a room, she would whirl and twirl, and she still couldn't see everything there was to see. Well, one day, Mother took these 9 girls out for a walk. And as they were walking, the beautiful Mirabelle heard a very lovely sound. And so she left her mother and her sisters, and she followed that sound. It brought her to a tall, spreading tree with low branches. And sitting on the lowest branch of that tree, singing a very lovely song, was a magnificent green bird. Now, the green bird looked at Mirabelle, and Mirabelle looked at the bird. She got closer and closer, and she began to stroke the feathers of the bird. The bird stopped singing and spoke. Mirabelle, Mirabelle, you have come at last. Muchas gracias. Thank you, Mirabelle. Oh, I am not a green bird. Mirabelle, I am Pájaro Verde, the prince. A spell was placed upon me, and only you can break this spell. Oh, por favor, please, Mirabelle, marry me and break this spell. Marry you? A bird? A prince? A spell? Muy bien, very well. Sí, yes, I will marry you. And Mirabelle ran off to tell her mother and her sisters. Well, her sisters laughed and laughed. Oh, Mirabelle, your babies will have feathers. But Mother said, no, you will not marry a green bird. But Mirabelle didn't care. She slipped away and she married the green bird. Together, they went up the mountain to the palace of Pájaro Verde, the prince. Oh, the palace. It had 9 big rooms, and every room was filled with treasure. Every room had a window. And every evening as the sun disappeared, the green bird would fly to the first window, sing his song. Fly to the next window, sing his song. From window to window to window to window. And only at the last window would the green bird fly into the palace. Whoosh. The green bird would become Pájaro Verde, the prince. Now the prince would spend the night in his palace, and the next morning, the green bird would again fly away. Now, Pájaro Verde, he told Mirabelle, no one must know my secret, Mirabelle. No one. If anyone should come to this palace and spend the night, you must take this bottle of sleeping water and sprinkle their pillow so they will sleep. And Mirabelle took the bottle of sleeping water. She promised. Now down below the mountain, Mother was quite angry. Mirabelle has gone off and married a green bird. Why? And so Mother, she called for that eldest daughter, the girl with 9 eyes. Go, bring me the secret of that bird. And so the girl with 9 eyes went up the mountain, and she found the palace of Pájaro Verde. She was standing perfectly still, rolling those eyes, looking at all that treasure, while Mirabelle prepared a meal. They sat and they ate and talked, and Mirabelle said, oh, sister, you must be tired. Let me show you to your bed. So Mirabelle took the girl with 9 eyes to a room. She took that bottle of sleeping water and she sprinkled the pillow. When the girl with 9 eyes put her head upon that pillow, all 9 eyes closed up tight. And she slept. She didn't hear anything. She didn't see anything. And the next day, the girl with 9 eyes went home. Mother, I don't know the secret of the green bird. What? And I will send your sister. And so the girl with 8 eyes, she went up the mountain. But the same thing happened. So the girl with 7 eyes, 6 eyes, 5 eyes, 4 eyes, 3 eyes, they all went up the mountain. And the same thing happened. Well, that left only the youngest sister, the girl with one eye. Go! Bring me the secret of that bird. And so the poor girl with one eye went up the mountain. Now, Mirabelle was just as happy to see that sister as she had been to see the rest. The girl with one eye whirled and twirled, trying to see all that treasure, while Mirabelle prepared the meal. They sat and talked and ate, and the girl with one eye, oh, sister, lo siento, I'm sorry, you are tired. Oh, let me show you to your bed. So Mirabelle took the girl with one eye to that room. But Mirabelle thought, she's so tired, and she only has one eye. She will sleep. And Mirabelle did not sprinkle a pillow. And that evening, as the sun set, the green bird flew from window to window to window. And when the green bird finally flew into the palace, whoosh, and became the prince, the girl with one eye saw everything. The next day, she went home. Mother, I know the secret of the green bird. It's not a green bird. It is Pájaro Verde, the prince. And every evening when the sun sets, he flies through that window, spends the night, and in the morning, the green bird flies away again. Really? A prince? Well, I will have that palace, and I will have that treasure. And Mother got an empty sack. She filled it with glass, and she broke that glass into sharp, jagged pieces. She took her sack of broken glass up the mountain, and Mother put those pieces of broken glass all around the window, knowing that the green bird would fly through that glass. And sure enough, that evening, as the sun set, the green bird flew back to the palace from window to window to window, and the green bird flew through that glass. The bird was cut, and pieces of glass stuck to its body. Pájaro Verde confronted Mirabelle. Look! Look what you have done! You have betrayed me, Mirabelle. I must leave. The green bird flew away. Oh, well, Mirabelle was terribly upset. What did I do? How could I have been so foolish? I will find him. I will break this spell. And Mirabelle took her bottle of sleeping water, and she went out to find her prince. Now Mirabelle walked and walked and walked and walked. She saw nothing of the green bird. And now she was tired. So Mirabelle decided that she was going to sit down and rest in the shade of a tree. She sat down on the ground and She leaned back against that tree. She had just closed her eyes when she heard the sound of 1,000 little birds. She opened her eyes and 1,000 little birds were flying out of that tree. The birds surrounded Mirabelle, and one very tiny bird came to perch upon her finger. The little bird looked at Mirabelle. Mirabelle, you are looking for your prince. You wish to break the spell. You shall. But this is what you must do, Mirabelle. You must take the blood of all these little birds, and when you find your prince, sprinkle the blood of the birds upon him, and the spell will be broken. No, I can't do that. Oh, you must, Mirabelle. All will be well. And so Mirabelle took that bottle of sleeping water and she spilled it on the ground. And one by one, she filled that bottle with the blood of the little birds. She turned to walk away, and as she did, she again heard the sound of 1,000 little birds. She spun around, and all those birds were flying back up into the tree. All was well. So Mirabelle walked and walked and walked and walked, but she still saw nothing of the green bird. So she finally climbed up to the edge of a very high cliff. From there she looked down and she looked up at the sun. Oh, the sun sees almost everything on earth. ¿Dónde está pájaro verde? Where is he? But the sun said, I don't know. Wait, Mirabelle, for the moon. The moon may help. And so Mirabelle stayed on the edge of that cliff, and she waited until the sun was gone and the moon was high. Mother Moon, ¿dónde está pájaro verde? Where is he? But the moon too said, I don't know. Wait, Mirabelle, for the wind. The wind may help you. So Mirabelle stayed on the edge of that cliff, and she waited until a great gust of wind came blowing up the side of the cliff. That wind was so powerful, it lifted Mirabelle off her feet. It carried her over the mountains and over the trees. And finally, the wind brought Mirabelle down gently. She was standing deep in a forest, and right in front of her was an enormous stone mansion with 2 big doors. And so Mirabelle went and pulled those doors open. She walked into that stone mansion, and there was a stone table. Lying on that table was Pájaro Verde. He was covered with a sheet. His eyes were closed. His skin was cool. He did not move. So Mirabelle went and threw back the sheet. She could see those cuts and those pieces of glass. She took her bottle and she sprinkled his body. Mirabelle stepped back and she watched as his eyes began to flutter open and the color came back to his cheeks and his hands began to twitch. Pájaro Verde, he sat, he stood. Mirabelle! Muchas gracias, thank you. You have broken the spell. Por favor, please, stay with me aquí, here. And Mirabelle said, muy bien, sí. Very well, yes, I will stay with you. And so Pájaro Verde and Mirabelle, they stayed together in that huge stone mansion deep in the forest. And Mother and all those girls with all those eyes, they went up the mountain. And they looked and looked and looked and looked and looked. But they never again could find the palace nor the treasure of Pájaro Verde. The end. Well, so there's good sister and bad sister, right? That's a Cinderella story. Now, just like the Cinderella stories have lots of different versions, you know that story about Jack and the Beanstalk? I hope so, yeah. Well, I'm not going to tell it to you. But you know what, boys and girls, there are lots and lots of stories about that boy named Jack. And so this afternoon, I think I'll tell you another story about Jack. Now you remember in Jack and the Beanstalk, right, that Jack lived with his mama. And Jack and his mama were very, very poor. That's why Jack's mama told him to go and sell the cow. And what did he do? He traded that cow for 3 magic beans, right? And his mama was so mad, she threw those beans out the window. Well, they grew into the beanstalk, and you know the rest of that story. Well, things like that were always happening to Jack. Time went by, and just like you, Jack, he got older and older and older, and he got bigger and bigger and bigger. But Jack and his mama, they were still poor. So one day Jack goes to his mama and says, Mama, I'm gonna go and get myself a job. I'm gonna help out. And Jack's mama thought that was a good idea. So off he went. But Jack didn't have any idea about getting a job. He was walking down the road and he saw a farm up on the hill. Ooh, boy, I could work on that farm. I could do chores. And so Jack went up and knocked down the door, and the farmer was happy to see him. The farmer gave Jack a whole list of chores to do, and Jack got to work. One by one, he checked off everything, and he came back to the farmer. I'm finished, sir. You're finished already? Whoa, Jack, you're a good worker. Now, I'm gonna pay you for your help, son. And the farmer reached into his pocket. He gave Jack a brand new shiny silver dollar. Well, Jack thanked the farmer, and he took that silver dollar, and he started walking home. But while he was walking home, Jack had an idea. And maybe you've done this too. Jack took that silver dollar and he put it on his thumb. Boing! He flipped it up in the air and he jumped and he caught it. And he thought that was pretty cool. So he put it on his thumb again. Boing! Well, Jack had to jump twice, but he caught it. Now Jack was all full of himself. So he put that silver dollar on his thumb again. Boing! Well, he flipped it up so high he couldn't see it till it started coming down. Plunk. It came down right in the river. Sank to the bottom. It was gone. Jack wasn't getting it back. And Jack was pretty upset. But Jack had to go home and tell his mama. And you all know how angry mama can be when you've done something pretty foolish. Jack's mother was not pleased. What? Now, why in the world were you flipping it up in the air, Jack? That is not what you should have been doing. Jack, you should have just put it in your pocket and carried it home, and I want you to remember. Yes, ma'am. Put it in my pocket, I'll remember. And he did. Because the next day, Jack went back to the farm. Jack, do you know how to milk cows? Of course I do. How about you milk my cows? So Jack went out to the barn and he got all these empty buckets and a little stool and he sat down right by that first cow. He filled that bucket with fresh, sweet, creamy milk, and then he moved on to the next cow. Well, he milked all those cows, and when he was done, there were buckets and buckets and buckets of fresh milk. Farmer was happy. Oh, Jack, this is great. Now, listen, Jack, it's only fair. You milked the cows, take home a bucket of milk. Well, Jack looked him over, and he picked out the fullest one. He picked it up, and he remembered what his mama said. So he tried to put that bucket of milk into his pocket, but of course it spilled, and Jack went home with very wet pants and an empty bucket. What? Now, Jack, why would you try and put a bucket of milk into your pants pocket? That doesn't make any sense. That's not what you should have done, Jack. Jack, have you never seen people who carry heavy things on their head? They stand up tall and straight, get it balanced, and then they walk real slow. That's what you should have done, and I want you to remember. Yes, ma'am. Put it on my head. Walk real slow. I'll remember. And he did. The next day, Jack went back to the farm, and when he got there, the farmer's wife was pulling all this stuff out of her kitchen and piling it up on the porch. So Jack watched, and he said, "What you doing, ma'am?" "Oh, good morning, Jack. Jack, I'm going to take all those buckets of milk, and I'm going to churn that milk into blocks of cheese that I can sell. Would you like to help me make cheese?" "Sure." So Jack jumped up on the porch, and the farmer's wife showed him what to do, and they churned and churned and churned that milk, and by the middle of the day, they had blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks of cheese. Ooh, Jack, why, it would have taken me all day to finish this job without your help, son. Oh, Jack, please, take home a block of cheese to your mother. Well, they were all the same, so Jack just grabbed a block of cheese, and he remembered what his mama said. So Jack, he stood up real tall and straight, and he got that block of cheese balanced up there on his head, and he started walking real slow. Now, Jack might have got his cheese home up there on his head, but he didn't. because it was a really hot, very sunny day. Yep, that block of cheese began to melt, and it ran down over his head and over his clothes. And by the time Jack got home, he was covered in melted cheese. No, Jack, that's not what you should have done. Now, Jack, you should have gotten a big cloth and dipped it in the rain barrel so it was wet and cold. If you had wrapped it up in a cold, wet cloth, Jack, you could have run home. That's what you should have done, and I want you to remember. Yes, ma'am, I'll remember. And he did. Now, the next day, Jack decided he was not going back to the farm. I haven't had a lick of luck. I'm going into town and get a job. So Jack walked all the way into town. And the first place he came to was the bakery. Ooh, that is a sweet place to work. Jack spent all day making cakes and cookies and pies and bread, and at the end of the day, oh, the baker wanted to do something really special for Jack, so he said, "Wait here, son." And the baker disappeared. When he came back, he gave Jack a big, fat cat. Best cat I've got, Jack. You take that cat home, you won't have another mouse in your house. And so Jack took that big fat cat, and he remembered what his mama said. So Jack, he got a big cloth, and he dipped it in the rain barrel till it was dripping wet and very cold. And then he looked at that cat, and he took a deep breath. Oh, Jack, he had to wrestle that cat. But he got the cat wrapped up in that cold, wet cloth, and Jack started running home. He didn't get far, because that cat was pretty angry. The cat was squealing and squirming. The cat came out of that cloth, scratched Jack's arm, disappeared. Oh, no. Oh, man. I lost my silver dollar and I spilled that bucket of milk and the cheese melted and now my cat's gone and that cat scratched me. Jack burst into tears and he cried all the way home. And when his mama saw his tears, she did not yell. She got a little bowl of soapy water and she started cleaning out that scratch. She just said, "Jack, honey, you know, that's not what you should have done. Now, you know, Jack, you should have gotten a long piece of string. Then you could have tied it up and put it out behind you. You could have grabbed the string and dragged it home. Wouldn't have hurt you none. That's what you should have done, Jack, and I want you to remember." Yes, ma'am. Tie it with a string and drag it home. I'll remember. And he did. All right. So the next day, Jack was not going back to the bakery. So he ended up at the butcher. Oh, that was a cool job. The butcher gave him these sharp knives, and Jack spent all day cutting up meat for people. And at the end of the day, the butcher didn't know what else to do. So he just opened up the fridge and he gave Jack a nice, pink, juicy ham. Oh, Jack loves ham. So Jack took that nice, pink, juicy ham. He could almost smell it baking in the oven. He could almost taste it on his tongue. But then he remembered what his mama said. So Jack got a long piece of string and he tied up that ham and he put put it out behind him. He grabbed the string and he dragged that ham home. By the time he got home, that ham was ruined. No, Jack, you didn't. That's not what you should have done. Jack, you should have just picked it up and carried it on your shoulder. That's what you should have done. And I want you to remember. Yes, ma'am. Put it on my shoulder and carry it. I'll remember. And he did. Okay, so here's what happened. The next day, Jack wasn't going back to the farm or the bakery or the butcher, and he was walking down the road thinking about where he was going to get a job. And he sees a wagon coming towards him, a big wagon. And this wagon is piled high with junk, all kinds of junk. So much junk that there's 6 donkeys pulling that wagon, and up in the driver's seat, there's a little old man. He is a peddler. He's going to drive that wagon around and sell that junk, make some money. So Jack jumps in front of the wagon. Hey there, hi there, ho there, sir. My name's Jack, and I need a job. Can I ride with you today? Yeah. Peddler didn't mind some company. Come on up, Jack. So Jack gets up in the driver's seat, and off they go. Now, of all the jobs that Jack had, selling junk, that was the job for Jack. He was good. Every time the peddler stopped the wagon, Jack would grab an armful of junk and off he'd go. He'd sell it, and he'd bring the money back. At the end of the day, that wagon was almost empty, and that peddler, he had a big bag of money. He was pretty pleased. Woo, Jack! You did something special for me, son. I've never sold this much junk in a single day, never made this much money. I'm going to do something special for you, Jack. You know what I'm going to do for you? Jack, I'm going to give you one of my donkeys. Well, I'm going to get the biggest one. So Jack walked out in front of the wagon, and he did. He picked out the biggest donkey, and the peddler untied the rope. He gave it to Jack. They shook hands, and the peddler drove off. So here was Jack. He was standing in the middle of the road with this big donkey, and he remembered what his mama said. Yep. So I want to show you how he did it. Jack, he walked all the way around that donkey, and he got right alongside of it. And then he got down, kind of like this, and he stuck his head underneath the donkey. And then he counted to 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I got it. And Jack stood up with that donkey hanging around his neck. And he started walking home. Now, from where Jack was to where Jack had to go, Jack had to walk by the house of the richest guy in town. This dude was so rich. He had this big, beautiful house. It was filled with beautiful things. And of course, he had a beautiful daughter. But that beautiful daughter, she was only pretty on the outside. On the inside, where it really matters, she wasn't very pretty. She was rather mean and miserable. She never laughed. She never smiled. And when she was very, very little, her rich daddy had once said that anyone who can make that girl laugh will receive a great reward. But no one ever did. Now that girl was sitting upstairs in her room looking out the window. And she saw Jack coming down the road. Now Jack, he's huffing and puffing, and he's sweating, and his eyes are popping, and he's got a donkey hanging around his neck. Well, yeah, she thinks it's just about the silliest thing she's ever seen. She can't help it. She started to giggle, and then she started to laugh. And she didn't get to laughing so hard that her daddy heard it. He came running up those stairs into her room. What? What is it that's finally made you laugh? Look out the window! Look out the window! And so the rich man looked out the window and he saw Jack. Well, he started laughing too. But then he remembered that promise. So he ran down the steps and out into the street. Young man, put down that donkey. Okay. Give me a minute. And very slowly, Jack, put down the donkey. What can I do for you, sir? So the rich man told Jack all about his daughter. Wait here, son. He went inside. And when he returned, he gave Jack 1, 2, 3 bags bulging full of gold. Donkey, and he thanked the rich man, and then Jack, well, he walked all the way around that donkey, and he got down, and he stuck his head under the donkey, and Jack was just about to count to 3 when the rich man says, wait a minute, Jack, that's not what you should be doing. How about instead of you carrying the donkey, let that donkey carry you? Oh, that's a good idea. So Jack, he got up on the back of that donkey, clip, flop, donkey carried him home. And when Jack's mama saw him coming on a donkey, Jack got a donkey. But when Jack gave his mama those 3 bags of gold, and Jack and his mama, they lived a long time on those 3 bags of gold. Long enough, I hear, that Jack never again had to go down the road and get another job. The end. There are so many stories about that boy named Jack. If you've only read Jack and the Beanstalk, you might want to check that out next time you go to the library. Boys and girls, you were wonderful. I had a good time. I hope you did too. Now at 6:30, don't forget, 6:30, we're going to be back here. Pizza, drinks, the teachers are going to be waiting on you, and I'm going to be here, and I'm going to tell some more stories. So I'm going to be looking for you. I hope you'll be here. Thank you so much. It was just wonderful.